So the next team, though, is Reacto, and it's a web implementation of the Fullstack Reacto interviewing strategy. And so let's see what they have to show us.
Hi, I'm Lawrence, and together with Brandon, Fila, and Eli, we created Reacto. So imagine you're on the road becoming a software engineer, which I know is a crazy scenario, but you practice so many hours of coding, and you apply to job, you make job applications, and you finally get an interview, but then you fumble during the whiteboarding exercise because you don't know how to organize your thoughts. This is where our app comes in. Reacto is an educational platform built for promising developers to practice the entire coding technical interview process. Based on Fullstack's Reacto method, we ingrained repeating the problem, thinking of example input-outputs, devising approaches, coding and testing those approaches, and finally optimizing them. So let's take a walk through the app. Once you pick a question, you can choose to answer either with or without help. Help will show the repeat, example, and approach sections in a multiple choice format as opposed to open-ended. In our coding and test portion, we'll have an integrated development environment where Reacto will evaluate your code. And during the optimization phase, you'll see our solution as well as a graph estimate of the big O of your solution. At every step, we provide feedback on both correct and incorrect answers. And furthermore, you can train with our video conferencing and screen sharing features, which Fila will go over later. But first, Brandon's going to talk about some of our other main features.
Thank you, Lawrence. Now, Reacto requires a lot of data to be stored and processed, the topics and subtopics and their associated problems, questions and answers for each step of the Reacto process, as well as keeping track of user progress to our app. We needed one of the first earlier problems we ran into was our problem could have any number of approaches. String permutation problems, for example, will only have one approach, whereas array parsing would have many more. Not only did we want our database to be able to store like this, but we want it to be modular enough so that if we want to add in additional features, we'll be able to easily do so. On that end, we decided on a tree database structure in which the topics form the root of the tree and the associated subtopics and problems form its branches. This made it much easier for us to access the information as we would simply pull from the root topic. Furthermore, adding on additional data was quite easy as we would simply add on a column to the existing database table. As for our front-end IDE, we use Ace Editor, and once the user submits the code, we parse the string into a functional function, after which we pull in inputs from our database and parse them using Chai. Once the tests are parsed, we will send the information back up to the website using React. And once the user passes all their tests, we allow them to continue on to the optimization component. Now, Fila will discuss our video conference component.
Thanks, Brandon. As Lawrence mentioned before, we implemented a video conference feature using Twilio's API. This feature also allows users to share their screen with other users using a Chrome extension we made. Here, Ali made an appearance using our application. He can share his screen with me, and we can go over the problems together. One challenge we faced implementing this feature was how to link and render audio-visual tracks and media objects over several React components. To solve that, we leveraged the power of Redux by adding Twilio's object to a connected store and make them available to our components. To develop a Reacto, we use a set of different technologies. And we deploy it using Heroku combined with Travis for continuous integration. If you'd like to try our application, please visit our website. Overall, it was a great experience working with my teammates, and we strongly believe that our application has the power to help developers to thrive during technical interviews by teaching them how to think about the problem instead of just solving the problem. Thank you.
All right, go ahead and like the post, like their pinned comment to vote for Reacto. Really nice. I think that we see, usually one or two projects that do some kind of take on interview problems and coding challenges, but this feels like it has all the features that you'd want, right? Like the peer-to-peer kind of connections to allow you to communicate with it. And I think they did a really good job kind of integrating those features in a very clean interface. So it was really cool.
Yeah.